thing. Like his whole mood, his whole vibe, his whole energy, it matches those blues and how they kind of they make it almost like the color is part of the person, which is part of the story. That's how I feel like solo leveling to be, and that's why I think people will enjoy it if they give it enough time. That's the question: are they? Because they don't. Them webtoons, like out of high school, like I said, ain't been a second one. Uh, Tower of God, there hasn't been a second one. I don't think they were like poorly received. They just ain't made anymore.
I think the anime
So
was
that's why I'm
poorly
like,
received though.
it might have been because again, it is different. It's not those webtoons is like almost the colors is almost like it's a part of it. It's
Mhm.
just really a part of it, and people seem to enjoy it for Demon Slayer, but I don't know how much they love it for like webtoons. Webtoons got like a smoother design too. It's not real hard. It's almost like going between watercolors and like remember those the little like the little pastel things, little color pastel, little things we used to get in art class.
Mhm.
Water pastel.
Yeah, the little thing where you used to like press it and it get on your fingers. You could mash
Yeah.
your finger and it make a design. It's like anime is like that, and manhwa is like Korean or Chinese anime is like
Okay.
water. It's like the watercolor with the remember the little circles that you get at like Easter time, and you take
Yeah.
the little brush. That's how they are. They're like real smooth and gentle, whereas you get into real harsh pastels and like intense drawings. That's why One Punch Man, even though it's technically a web comic, it's not an anime or a manga. Technically, it's a web comic. Like that's where it started from. Is the world a web comic? The reason why it works and you always get a One Punch Man season is because they use everything. Like they even rewrote the web comic into a manga, and then they animated the manga. So that's why we don't go off the web comics pacing. Like the web comic is way 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 in advance from where the anime is for One Punch Man. We go from the pacing of the manga version of it because that's where the money is at. They like we all enjoy. It's not they. We all enjoy the hard Japanese art style. That's
Yeah.
like you draw every detail to this city in Tokyo. You draw every detail to the earth when you show an outer space scene. Manhwa is not worried on that. The Gamer, just to name a few that are a great example of that. The Gamer is an example of that. Tower of God is, God of High School is. These are nothing in those are real detail. It's not you're not getting anything. You just not gonna get that. And we don't get serious because of that. Like legit. But maybe, just maybe, it could be different for solo leveling. Cause it'd be worth it. All right. I don't want to just keep rambling though. But that's what I really got for solo leveling right now. All right, so Rob, how do you want to do this? I
So
don't know how to even start.
I got the stream set up and everything. It's actually recording now. I get
Oh,
sent a
okay,
copy
cool.
after. So it started streaming once y'all started talking about solo leveling, or at least I
Oh,
started.
sweet.
Thinking it.
Word. All right. So we ain't even gotta die. If you have any more questions on that, again, I'm just not the most knowledgeable because it was like a quick read for me a while ago and I'm not like up to date. But I could kind of dive more in that web comic versus manga world if you want, because that is really the biggest difference. That's like really all I got though.
Okay.
But um, sorry to interrupt you again.
No, you good.
You got this. We recording. So yeah, what is this for anybody that's like watching this, Rob? I will kind of just want you to go for this. What is this?
Well, welcome to the first episode. We are in the building. This is MNM, mangas, and microphones. We're going to stick with this for right now. If we come up with a new name, we come up with a new name. But for right now, we're going to do this. We're just going to talk have live reactions for anime, manga, chapters, different things going on with anything animated related. I know Invincible is coming out soon, so we might dig into that too, have some live reactions to those episodes, because I know those episodes is going to get some reactions out of people. But we got JJK right now. I guess today we'll more so focus on the live reaction type of thing, really get into the swing of things, and then once I get more comfortable at least, then we can start branching off to probably like manga panels and in-depth reviews for series such as Boruto that hasn't came out with a new anime yet and all of that jazz. But for today, we're going to see about this live reaction to this most recent episode of JJK. Again, this is Manga and Microphones. I got my good friends, Derek and Niall from Crocco's Corner. Derek, if you want to plug anything, any businesses, anything like that, social medias, you could do that as well. And Niall, you could do that as well for Crocco's Corner. Again, this is our first episode, so I'm going to have more links and everything, especially for Crocco's Corner and anything that Derek might have. Also, links to all of my stuff as well, YouTube, all of that jazz. But this is gonna be our first thing. We're gonna get into it. Oh, Derek, I didn't know if you had anything that you wanted to share too.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, and y'all can see the episode, right?
Yeah.
I bet we gonna see if y'all could. Let me know if y'all can hear if it loads. Y'all can hear it. All right, my buddy.
Can't hear anything.
Can't hear anything.
Loading the money.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, so y'all still can't hear it?
Yeah, no, it just looked like it keep buffering over and over for.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Screen share. I'll do this. Share my screen share. It constantly keeps buffering. I have to do a physical connection with the Ethernet.
So I'm thinking, Rob, Crunchy might be blocking you too. Because I think I tried to do something similar before. So hold on.
Yeah, because isn't it like Netflix when you used to take a screenshot of something on Netflix?
Exactly. Remember, it'll black out, like it'll black the entire screen out. I think that they're exactly like Crunchy in that regard. Or they're exactly like Netflix, excuse me, in that regard.
Oh, where they don't let you
Mhm.
like automatically.
Yeah, I'm about to send you something.
We got, or I got an illegal website that we can use.
You may or may not.
That's very true, yeah. Alright. Connect it to the Ethernet. Alright, I'm gonna try this again and see if the Ethernet actually helps it out.
This off topic, I just took my first L in fantasy.
Ha!
Yeah, you've been doing great.
I was undefeated, dog.
He's
You're
undefeated.
doing fantastic. Exactly.
He's,
You don't need to worry. It's the rest of us that need to be worrying about these losses.
ここまでがこの領域。
Oh boy. Yeah, and it looked like I'm about to have another loss.
必中
that's the league with all of them, Ali and all of them, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I had a feeling that this was gonna happen. Well, I'll figure that stuff out on a different day. Regardless, did y'all ever watch the anime or that most recent
Yeah, I
episode?
was.
Yes, the most recent one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it. Here's one thing I meant to ask y'all is I've been seeing a lot on like the internet, whether it be Twitter, whether it be YouTube, all of that jazz. They were like Mappa. It's a certain crowd of people saying that Mappa isn't doing a good job with the animation for this season. Like in terms of in comparison to the manga panels. From
Okay.
what y'all been seeing so
Yeah.
far from this season, do y'all agree with that or no? And why?
It's a thing, yes, but I think people have made it way more noticeable. Like they're making it way larger of an issue than I think it needs to be.
Mhm.
It's just like the scenes where they are having that problem, it's real quick to me. And there may be either, even if it's like it's to me, it's the same thing as like One Piece. With One Piece, you have certain episodes where like there's a huge budget that's going to be going towards it for that specific episode, and it shows. And then there's certain like the next episode that it may just really be very low tier, terrible quality animation done.
Mhm.
And it's really just a direct result to the budget that was going from like that previous episode to the next one. So like if they have, give you an example, if they have Luffy facing like the big character,
Mhm.
they already know before they even get started that is going to be an episode that is going to have a lot of money behind it, so that's going to look a little different.
Yeah.
If even Luffy's number 2, Zoro in command, is fighting the enemy's number 2, that's going to have, at this point in this series being in existence for as long as it has been, it's going to have those things.
Mhm.
Like it's just going to have a huge budget towards it. With Jujutsu Kaisen, I can definitely understand where like it's probably difficult knowing what moments or what instances do you. When you had Gojo running through the train station in like a split second and they were animating that entire part, sure that probably took a little bit more money.
Yeah.
Like I I'm fine with if they have a scene where one of the lesser characters that's not Sotoro Gojo is having a split moment where it's not really the best of animation. I personally I just can get that. It's a lot of characters that people enjoy
Mhm.
that they got to try to cover, and for those, and even at that, like I think they do a good job. This most recent episode had oh man, what's the sister, the sister and brother, the one that has like the scythe. She has like the scythe weapon. I can't remember.
Oh,
Her
I
name.
forget her
She
Meme?
has
name.
the crows. Meme, yeah.
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 So her and her brother, the part in this most recent episode with them, I didn't think there was anything wrong with that.
Mhm.
Like there was no, if there was a flaw, it was for a brief second.
Mhm.
Maybe some of the parts with the bird, but like fam, animating a bird going through somebody's torso, I'm okay understanding if that's a little difficult to do and that might not come out perfectly,
Yeah.
or at least the way that you might want that to come out. Like I don't know. It, to me, a lot of it has been forgiven. Like I've been able to forgive it because the shots that do matter are pretty good. The same thing with Bleach. Like it's a lot of complaints I feel like that happened with this most recent season that came out this
Really?
summer.
Jeez.
Where it's like, yeah, like I feel like I feel like it was enjoyed, but then there's always like it was just this. There was a lot of people that enjoyed it for Bleach,
Mhm.
and that was kind of what I thought would be the expectation for just like some of the other stuff coming out as well, where if you did have a moment where it kind of lacked, you just knew why it lacked. Like you knew where that was coming from, why that was the case. You knew it was okay. Well, this isn't really a necessarily big part of the season, so
Mhm.
we don't have to necessarily animate that to the fullest. I don't know. Like to me, it makes sense, and nobody complain about. Again, Bleach has done a really good job, and it's probably had a lot more time and a lot more. They're different than everybody else, and like in the simulcast seasons of it all, they're different. They're different because Bleach has been over for a while. I don't know what the studio was like putting towards this. I don't know. Who
Mhm.
knows? S- But like they still have little instances where it's like, okay, well that was animated real funky, you know?
Yeah.
Um the costumes that they're wearing too in Bleach, there's so many instances where you can like make mistakes with the white.
Mhm.
White is hard to do all of those action moves with and not mess up. You know what I mean? At some point,
Yeah.
it just is the case with white. I don't know what it is, but it just don't do well in motion, like stop motion or whatever. And Bleach has a lot of characters wearing white in this season, which is, I guess, it's accurate. No, it is. It's definitely accurate for the manga, but it's not the best when you got that combat fighting like that. Like sometimes certain scenes can look a little goofy,
Yeah.
but again, people mad forgiven for Bleach, mad forgiven for Bleach. For One Piece, that's a huge fan base, so most of the time they not going to complain about it, but they still had complaints as well. And it's like, well, what do you expect? Like, you got 5 of the biggest characters in the series fighting episode apiece. Every episode gonna be beautiful. Like, all right, come on now.
Yeah.
We can't expect that. And then now you get in what I feel like is the worst of the worst of it with Jujutsu Kaisen. Like when I say the worst of the worst of it, that might also be true for the quality, but the critique is the worst of the worst. They too hard on it to me. It's too there's not and mind you, how many more episodes do we have of Jujutsu Kaisen?
Um,
This is like
I want to say it's past the halfway mark now, or at least
it's
at the
probably
halfway.
past it, but it still probably has about like 8 to 9 more episodes, somewhere between 7 to 9 more
It's a lot
episodes.
of
That's a
shenanigans left.
lot of episodes and a lot of stuff.
Hmm.
A lot of stuff
It's
to
probably
go
the,
through.
the most important stuff out of this whole entire.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I ain't even gonna hold you. Watching it now, the fight with Choso and Yuji,
Hmm.
I forgot all about this fight.
Yeah.
So much happens. I
Yeah.
forgot about this fight. Like, there, so much happens from this point forward that like I literally forgot this entire fight. Me watching it, it was like I was if like it was like I was that was my first time too. I experienced it before from reading it, but
Yeah.
like it felt like it was my first time experiencing it because there's so much more that's about to happen. That like and that's another reason if anybody that's a manga fan or a manga reader, I should say, or that's like up to date, I don't understand how you could be mad because you should know
Yeah.
there's going to be so much more complicated things to animate. Why are you getting upset?
Hmm.
You should know everything that's to come.
I thought it
What?
was animated pretty well though.
I thought it was.
Exactly. Me too. And to me, that's how I feel. I think that it wasn't that bad. It's some goofs. Like, you know how they had the fish dude in this most recent episode
Yeah.
when they had went into his they went
Aegon?
into
His
his
domain.
domain and it was on the beach.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Some of the scenes with the fish when they were hitting the people, it was real low and tacky. And that's the type of stuff that people they'll be real critical
Nitpicking.
of. The
Yeah.
fan base will be real critical of. And I'm like, how do you expect that to be animated? You know what I mean? Like, what did you expect from that? I just don't
You got to
know.
realize though, the fish only appear when they make contact, so they have to animate it a certain type of way. They can't just be flowing through. I mean, he did shoot him at the old dude, and you saw the fish flying, but you only see them when they make contact with that dude's cursed energy.
Hmm.
And it's a good
I
point
mean,
that you bring that up because
yeah,
what is animation? It's frames. And what was that dude power that they was fighting? Frames per second. So to Derek point two, and that's such a great point to bring up. Remember what they were trying to combat? The whole thing. We trying to combat how many frames per second the sorcerer was using from the Zenin clan.
Yeah.
So you got to make that look real fast, right? Real fast, real fast. If you trying to show that you beating that, they probably did that real fast. Like when they animated it, they probably did it as fast as they possibly could. To Derek point, how well you think that's going to be able to be done? Right. Seriously, how what are you expecting from that? And it's supposed to be a flash second thing. It's not supposed to be like the fish is coming near in a like in this time lapsed way where it's attaching on to the person. Nah, it's like Derek said, it's a split second, bro. They being critical over a split second. It's too much. They wilding to me. That's my opinion.
Did they beat Dagon? Well, we're in all agreement that I feel like the animation has been pretty top tier in terms of this season, to be honest with you. But did they beat Dagon in this recent episode? That fish
no, Toji just came through the hole at the last second of it.
Got you. Okay, yeah. I didn't watch the ending of it. I completely forgot what happened in Shibuya too because of the incidents at the end of it.
How much that happens? Yeah, no, it's believe me, Derek, and we'll come back to this when we do get to the end of it, and you'll be like, yeah, I can understand how y'all were like, I don't really remember, because you gonna be like, what did happen? Oh, that did. We'll have a review, and it'd be like, I didn't even realize that was the same part that we was talking about, because it's just so much happens. But yeah, this whole part, I do remember because, and I'm very curious. So I'm glad that you brought that up. We see Toji come through the hole, right? I'm really curious to see how this part is animated. I do remember it loosely. You got to remember all of the things that happen at this part, Rob.
A little bit. This is the start. This is the start of a lot of bullshit.
But not more so the action and the content that happens in this part, but the interactions.
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of trying to. Yeah, I want to see how they, because usually the anime give a little bit more context than the manga normally do. So is there going to be more between these family members we all know here right now?
That's what I was feeling.
It's 4 family members that's here.
Yeah.
It's 4 of them.
Technically, yeah.
Technically, it's 4.
Maki's part of the what clan?
The Zenin clan.
Zenin.
Just like Megami.
Okay.
Just like the grandpa.
And that was my thing, because I was wondering, I was like, when Toji came, like, okay, we know how, Dagon is defeated and things like that. But it's like when he takes Megami out, is he still following those orders of taking out sorcerers? Because remember, he was given the order of taking out sorcerers, and he was starting with the strongest after he killed the granny. Then he came in and got Dagon. So it's like after Dagon, he takes Megami. Is that like them saying like, okay, this is like the pecking order right now? But I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of confused. I thought it was the old dude, but he's just the fastest.
In his potential, Megami probably has like top tier, like Gojo saying, yo, I can see you being like one of the toppest, like tip of the top of the pecking order in terms of Jujutsu sorcery, but Megami would get in his own way most of the time and just be thinking too much. He might, like, his potential is just that high where you got to put him up there just because of his 10 Shadows technique.
Is he? But and that's to Derek's point though. Is this all still off the command at root?
I think at some point in time,
I thought it's a good point to bring up though, because he got control of his body, right?
Yeah.
He got control of his body, so we know that it's supposed to be his body that was taken. Like, it was supposed to be him in control and not the sorcerer who summoned Toji.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, though, was he, to Derek's point, though, does it not still seem like he following what he was instructed to do?
I thought he was still following that underlying thing of trying to find the strongest sorcerers in the area type of thing. I think it
Because
was.
if that is the case,
Yeah.
then yes, it would make sense that that it went the order that it did,
Mm-hmm.
starting with the grandma, then going to Dagon, because nobody else in there. Dagon, the thing about Dagon is you can't really say that anybody else in there was as strong as him.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't, Maki wasn't not no the grandpa Zenning, whatever his name was, uh frames per second Zenning, no.
Frames per second.
Um
Yeah.
uh um not what's his name?
Nami,
Yeah, not him, not Nominee, not
not
yeah,
Megumi.
that's it. The only one that's left is Megami.
And I
Which
think the
at
thing
this
is with
point, Megami is not stronger to him. Like right now, at this
I,
at that current moment, Megami is not stronger than Dagon, but he may be the second strongest one there.
mm-hmm.
and maybe I think it was because of the amount of energy he was using because he was opening a hole in the domain. So probably it's like, oh, you're using this curse energy and he's using this curse
Yeah,
energy. So it's like, okay, second one
you
that
could
was using the most
offset,
curse
right?
energy, I'm
Yep,
taking Nero. So I think that's probably what it was. But yeah,
yep. I think yeah, but then we end up seeing, and that's where we'll go into the next. That's where the next episode kind of bleeds in there. That's where I just want to see how all of that is done because we know that it doesn't go the way that necessarily the sorcerers that summoned Toji wanted it to go. We know that much.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
We know that that continues on in this next episode. But like, if we say, all right, all of that's already been established, all of that's already understood, what are we left with?
Mhm.
Like what story, like what are we going to be met with these characters meeting each other and having this interaction? Is there any man, that's what I like. I love that and hate that with Jujutsu Kaisen is that like no other anime feels like this to me or manga where I can go and read it and then suspect that like so much might be filled in place when I actually go to watch it. That's going to be like maybe different. One Piece one Piece does this, One Piece does that. But it's like One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen. Everything else, I'm not left wondering if there's gonna be more, if there's something added in. I guess you could say Bleach, not Bleach throughout its entirety, no. But Bleach during the 1,000 Year Blood War, they're doing that too, but that's new for them, adding things in that's away from the source material.
Mm-hmm.
But Gege, he like doesn't do that, but does that. It's weird. It's like I just know to accept it at this point. I know there's gonna be this point where he has like this one like it's just gonna be one point where it's just a frame in the manga, but then in the anime, it's gonna be like words were attached to it, or
Mm-hmm.
the frame is way longer than just one frame. And I just don't I never know when that's gonna be. I think this is it. I think this is it, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Like now I was saying earlier too, like I completely I'm not gonna lie, this was probably the one arc where I was in and out of it. I was up to date with the most recent things or the more important things out of this arc. The Choso versus not Choso, Yuji versus Choso fight. Um, I read a little bits and pieces of the Dagon fight, but all the fights after this is the main reason why I wanted to watch this season. This and the Mahito fight with
Mm-hmm.
Mekamaru in the beginning. I was curious how they were going to animate that because how they animated that would be the precursor for how they would animate the rest of the season. And they blew me away with that Mekamaru fight. I'm not going to lie. Blew me
Yeah.
completely away. And this was just like a throwaway character that Gege was using just to push the plot forward. But they used it to a perfect T where we kind of resonate with Mekamaru at the same time. They showed him in his terrible condition and why he wanted to do this in order to get his body back. And then once he got his body back, he was about business. He was standing on business. Like I gotta let the other Jujutsu sorcerers know. It kind of made us emotionally attached to the character just for that split second, enough
Yeah.
for his sacrifice to really like I feel like lock everybody
And the
in.
manga ain't do that.
Yeah,
The manga
yeah.
didn't do
It
that
it tried to do that, but it can only do so much with a character
so
that they
much.
just like produced and actually went into his backstory. I guess he didn't even go into. They didn't even go to a backstory, and they didn't even go to a
But
backstory in
it
the
but it
anime.
felt like it. But it felt like it
Yeah.
in the anime. Like they pieced together this, like even his love interest. I didn't pick up on how he felt about that or the emotion he had behind that in the manga. That's the perfect example of what I mean in this. Like you took the perfect example of this season and why I'm like, I shouldn't care that much about next episode,
Yeah.
but I kind of do
Hmm.
because of that, exactly like that right there. I didn't understand his love interest when I was reading it from Mekamaru. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand why he was doing what he was doing, why he was doing it, and how it made sense.
Hmm.
I didn't understand his emotion behind it. Like again, like you said, they tried to, and like for the most part, I could follow it to get from like A to Z. I could
Hmm.
follow it to get to that. But they got to the anime of it, and they actually animated all of this stuff now. I'm like, oh wow, this character had way more.
Hmm.
Like you said, he like a side character when you reading it from the manga. Like when you viewing him from that way from the manga, and it was real quick. But when you watching it in the anime, you
That was
like,
main character energy.
Right.
yeah. I'm like, yo, this dude is like, well, I'm getting worked up. I didn't even care about this dude. And I'm like feeling some type of way. I'm like, yo, he really helped. He 10 toes. His power was doing now, like I didn't care about what his power did in the manga.
Hmm.
Like when he got to that big mecha sword version of the
Yeah.
thing, I didn't care. Like I didn't. I'm like, all right. This to me, it was like a weaker panda attempt. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It felt like I was reading Panda trying to hold it down, get Mechamaru. But like watching that, I was like, oh, he really was trying.
Yeah.
He was really trying to he was really trying to like, I don't want none of this.
Yeah.
I know the ramifications of what's about to come.
Mhm.
I'm about all like I felt all of that. All of that. And so imagine if I felt nothing from that, how I'm about to feel with the next like 10 episodes.
Hmm.
Like, well, we know that it's got to be wrapping up. So, for not even, I know literally from now, the next 9 episodes, though, bro. Like, literally every single episode, I think, from this Thursday on, is just going to be like,
Bro, I'm gonna say like the next 3 episodes about to be stupid.
Yeah.
they about to, but then that's the thing. If you think that,
Oh, I
then the
already know. Yeah.
next three,
That follows that is gonna be even nuts. Even more
yo,
crazy.
you
My thing is, I
like,
was thinking that like I was reading the manga and I was like, okay, like because we ain't seen Sakuna in a minute or whatever,
Hmm.
because he come out when he please, and I'm like, he all right, cool, nigga just fed him 10 fingers. How this about to go? And then you see how Sakuna start acting. I'm like, yo. And then the fight scene, like they take it outside. So it's like, okay, now it's really about to go. Now, like, how they gonna animate this? Because I mean, I thought the Toji fight in the beginning of the season was animated pretty well. Toji versus Gojo.
Hmm.
So I'm like,
yes,
if
I
they
agree.
let Sakuna go out all crazy
Yeah.
and he gonna be fighting Jogo, I'm like, that's gonna be even better.
Yo. And spoiler alert, if you don't read the manga, we're talking further than what the anime episodes are going into. What I'm more so worried about is the Mahito versus fucking Yuji fight.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yo, but even before that, I
Even
want to
before that,
see
there's hella shit that he got to go through.
like just all of the Mojito. Everything with Mojito in this arc is going to be written.
Chef's kiss.
s-
What?
Even going back to the Mechamaru fight, like
Yeah.
everything with Mojito is just perfect. And the fact that it's being animated so much, like it's being animated beyond they wilding with
Yeah.
this, they wilding with
Yeah.
these complaints, they bugging.
The scale
They
of it.
bugging because it's like it's you just take the story and just give the animation enough life behind the like how like I said, I didn't feel nothing with Mechamaru, but like there was a story there that I didn't understand, that I didn't realize or see. And they put life in that motherfucker when they animated it. Just put that life in every single Mojito storyline from
Mhm.
now to the end. It's gonna be like he gonna be like, I don't even know if they gonna finish Shibuya. I'm starting to not think that they do.
I think they will. I
How?
think they will.
It's gotta. I
I
gotta
think
figure how many episodes is
they've
left.
been,
It's gotta be
they've
more than
been
9.
zooming
It's
through it. I'm
gotta be
not gonna
more than
lie.
9.
It feels like
No,
they've been
well,
zooming through it.
I was gonna say
It
like the one thing with
yeah.
you said zooming through Shibuya Arc.
Yeah, they've been zooming through this arc. They technically did 2 arcs. They did the
Yeah.
prelude with Gojo and everything like that, him and Toji and Geto. And then they
Mhm.
got the Mekamaru little thing, which is a mini arc of its own. And then Shibuya is the main arc. So they've been flying. They've been flying through like two mini arcs and then 1 arc. And we're already at the point where Yuji is about to be fed the fingers by the little maniacal bitches.
What is it? What is it like?
23.
11 fingers at one
Yeah.
time? Because
Yeah.
I thought it was
Jojo
Like
give him
15, wasn't it?
10. No,
I think
Jojo
it's
give him
50.
10, and then the girls give him 1.
Jesus Christ.
Because that's
Yeah.
after Chozo beat his
He's
ass.
up to he like up to 15 now, right? Something like
Yeah,
that
I
at
think
this
he's at
point.
up to
Like
15
his
after this.
total.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because the last one we saw
Yeah,
him take
something like
was
that.
when Megami got the finger and Sukuna ate it through his hand, right?
I think so. I can't
Yeah.
remember. Oh,
Because when
because
they were fighting Chozo's brothers, and then Megami beat the cursed spirit, the special spirit or whatever.
mm-hmm.
And then he was like, "Here's a finger." He's like, "Don't eat it right away" or something. And then Sukuna's mouth opened up from Yuji's hand and just ate
And
the
ate it.
finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
was like, "Yo,
Yes.
what?"
Yeah, because Sukuna just different. He's just different. And it's
Said that. That's
I like love him at this part right now.
Yo, but one thing I was gonna say is like you can tell like some of the 3D graphics in some fight scenes,
Mhm.
like Chozo's his point of view when he was shooting the little
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
went crazy.
Yeah. They
dope though,
go,
but
yeah.
that reminded me like in Demon Slayer, it was like people was like, "Oh, I don't like the 3D graphics," but that fight with Gyutaro and Tengen and Tanjiro, like if they ain't animated that way,
Mm-hmm.
like would you really have that same feeling towards that fight? Because I
Yeah.
think that's like one of the best animated fight scenes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, you could get the suspense
Yeah.
from their point of view type of thing. You seeing
It's
Choso
right.
shooting the blood, and you seeing Yuji running for his fucking life. If he gets hit
Yeah.
by that shit, that nigga is dead. He did get hit by that shit, and that nigga
And bro, the
Choso packed his
combat
ass
was
up.
I was saying the combat crazy. Like we literally saw them animating
It's
blood
not
in the
that bad to
rain,
me.
like the daggers,
Mm-hmm.
the arm blade, the little meteorite he shot through his stomach. That was all crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like where people are getting upset is it's like three things are happening. You got CGI in certain elements. Then you got traditional like two-dimensional animation. And then on top of that, you just got rushed animation. And to be honest with you, outside of 2D animation, like full 2D animation, I'm fine with that. I'd rather them do that than have all CGI or all rushed anime, like all rushed animation. With the combination of all three, it's not that like when they do a transition into a traditional two-dimensional to CGI, you barely. It's not bad. It might end up being your favorite part, like y'all saying.
Mm-hmm.
It might end up being the favorite part of the entire like sequence. It's just not that big. It's not that big of a deal to me. But like I don't know.
People be
Everybody else is a
nitpicking.
huge deal.
People be nitpicking. They
It's
think that this anime about to do shit that we've never seen before, but it's an anime at the end of the day. You can
It's an
only
anime
judge
at the end of the day. It's expensive.
it.
That's the truth.
It's
At the
expensive.
end of the day,
It's
it's
time
really
consuming.
expensive to do.
You got to be tedious
Like
as fuck just to get the animation just exactly right in order for it not to look crazy to everybody else.
with like 4 days.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Quick as
Four
hell.
days.
Quick as hell.
And then you gotta turn around and do it again within 4 days.
Right.
Because here's the next deadline. Here's a new episode. Here's a new episode.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you could try to do like how Netflix does, where it's like, well, we had all of the entire season done, and like there has been success with that. You probably will start seeing more of that, but it's mad people. They don't want their favorite anime doing that. You don't want Jujutsu Kaisen doing 16 episodes at once and then you don't hear from them again for 2 years. You don't want that.
Yeah.
On some
Demon Slayer
Invincible
don't
shit for
even do
real.
that. Yeah, Demon Slayer don't even do that. And um if Demon Slayer still take super breaks.
Yeah, they do.
Like they take healthy breaks, and we hate that. So imagine if Demon Slayer were to be like, yeah, we just gonna give you 18 episodes and then we just gone for 2 years. Like you'd be like, I don't like that. I don't want that. So they trying to do everything they can to please everybody. And we just finding something else to complain about.
Yeah.
You said Invincible.
Bro.
Mhm.
That's a 2.5 year wait for season 2?
It was, yeah, especially I think it was because of COVID. I think animators been
Yeah.
getting overworked like fucking D and not being
But it came
compensated
out
for it.
it came out during COVID though.
That because I think the most of the work for that season was done before COVID, prior to COVID actually happening. So it wasn't like like especially like special effects with everything from Marvel movies or technically superhero movies, from animation to anime and all of that jazz. Everything took a hit pretty much during COVID and still is taking a hit today because a lot of people is like, yo, we working to the skin of our teeth type shit every fucking day trying to reach these goals and all of this shit, and y'all barely compensating us for it. Y'all wasn't compensating us for it before,
Before.
and now we had a global pandemic where I don't necessarily know how long I'll be alive if I catch COVID or if I catch anything else, and it happens just so happens to hinder me profusely where I can't work anymore. So y'all gonna need to compensate us for all this work that we doing. But I kind of understood why they did that. That as well as Invincible is a long ass fucking comic series. So depending
Yeah, it
on which
is.
way they wanted to go, they did a little different in the first season how they did the things. It all happened so that we can get to the same point A and point B that it happened in the comic books, but it's a
Yeah.
lot different how the comic got to that point B and then in comparison to how the actual show went to point B. So
It feel like it would have been impossible to trying to do it the way that the comic book did. Like I
yeah.
really understand them doing that this way. Like I get it. It just it makes so much sense to me. Um they I like it too. Like I like the way that the actual story goes and the way that it does for the anime. Like it man, yo, like I don't remember. I feel like the comic because I read it, I did read Invincible
Mm-hmm.
like fully through. And I
Mhm.
just feel like the comic was a lot. It was sad. Like it like not sad, but like it was
It was
sad, you
sad.
know? Like it
It
I
was
just remember reading it like I want to get to the end cuz I don't think nothing good going to happen anymore. I
It
just
don't.
don't believe
sad. I mean,
this is going to have anything positive. And the show is not like that. The show is like it's like controlled chaos.
he's
It's
just
almost like The Boys.
yeah.
Like The Boys is like that, where it's like it's dark. Everything is really dark and gloomy in The Boys and any of The Boys spinoff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that bad. Like you watch it and you like, man, it's fine. Like I don't know if y'all been watching Jim V, but Jim V is like the most messed up things. Like that is just a messed up mental space of a show. It's not good. It's not healthy to think like that at all. Any of the ideas coming from this is not good, but it's not depressing. It's like goofy and silly and lighthearted. And the way that they do that with Invincible, and it looks like they about to do, it looked like they going to dive further in the more serious bag, which would make sense
Mm-hmm.
because that's what was happening regardless. Like if they went the comic book route or not, that was how the show does just naturally, the story does just naturally get a little bit more serious. But I like how they doing it because the serious in the show in the comic. And Rob, you read it? Did you read the full thing? Or Derek, did you read the full thing?
I watched a YouTube video where somebody read it for me, so yeah.
Okay. Um,
I ain't
I
about to read
thought
that
that
whole
they
shit,
went.
nigga.
I thought that after this point they went like kind of hard into the mother's depression and like some of
little
the
bit.
things around that, and
Yeah.
then Mark kind of having to do his
His
thing, which
depression.
resulted in
Yeah.
the brother and
Yeah.
Oliver, and yeah, like I see. And when I was reading all of that, I was like,
This is
this is not like
fuck. This nigga's so
shit. I
good.
thought this was a comic book. Like, don't it? This is sad.
This man
I
But you
feel
gotta think
fucking.
of
bad
it.
for this woman.
You gotta think of it like that. You feel bad for her, but at the same time, it's nothing to Omni Man because she gonna be dead anyway, and he gonna
Yeah,
find, like he
right.
said,
In the way
find
that,
another
Find
way, find
another
another
one.
family. So then it was just like, and I think like what they did from episode 1, like they show Omni Man, like they had to build up that hero,
Mm-hmm.
because they couldn't just be like, oh, Viltrumite, bam, evil. So they built him up to the point where you like, oh, this is the ultimate hero. Then when he go off hinge, they like, who about to stop this nigga? Oh, Invincible. And then you see just how brutal Omni Man is. So now season 2 is gonna set up for more Viltrumites coming.
Mm-hmm.
So that fight with Mark really ain't gonna be shit that they just showed. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, y'all thought
and
Omni
they
Man
didn't
was
even
bad?
show that in the. Did they show that in the preview? Because I thought I was crazy.
I
I'm
don't.
like, aren't the Viltrumites supposed to come?
What?
And
They
I don't think
showed
they showed it in the preview.
they showed when he was talking about what Viltrum really was, he showed Conquest, the older
Okay.
Viltrumite.
Mm-hmm.
He showed the one of the girls, and he showed the I forgot the black dude's name, the black Viltrumite. But they showed those 3 Viltrumites, and they showed like the war on how like
Must have
everybody was just
quit
fighting and
then.
killing each other. So I'm like, if when they come to Earth, because Alan, they show Alan the alien coming to Earth to
Yeah.
tell Mark, hey, there's a Viltrumite on the planet. And it's
Yeah.
like after that point, because the director did say they have to change things up to speed the story along. So I'm pretty sure like midway through the season, it's gonna be more Viltrumites, but they really did have to build up Omni Man to be this
Yeah.
Superman like figure just to snatch it away from us in that last couple episodes.
And
Supposedly.
then
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
no, because now we about to focus on the Mega Brain dude, right?
Langstrom Levy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He,
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, dang, that's like a whole season though.
mm-hmm. They
But I
splitting it
know,
up though.
like y'all saying, it didn't pick up. It couldn't. It had. Okay. So all right.
They're
Back.
splitting it up.
Yeah,
Four
yeah,
episodes. 4 episodes is dropping from the November release date, if I'm not mistaken. And then they're gonna stop, and then earlier next year they're gonna drop, I believe, the last 4 episodes. So what I'm thinking is,
okay.
from this YouTube account, I think they were saying the first 4 episodes was gonna be Langstrom Levy, and I can't remember if it's Langstrom or Angstrom, whatever the fuck that weird nigga name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gonna go through his story. In the trailer, they were showing like a different universe with Mark on the big screen. I don't know if y'all seen the trailer.
Yeah.
Yes.
That version is supposed to be a different Mark that said yes to his father, requesting him to join his side to take over the Earth, type of thing.
I
Spoiler
feel
alert.
like that was in the comic too.
Yeah,
I
I think
feel
if
like
I'm
that.
not mistaken, yeah, he fought a whole lot
And we.
of his
So
counterparts.
they're saying they think that's where the halfway point is gonna be at.
That's where so I think they're going to talk about Langstrom, go into his backstory, go to the point where he becomes Megamind, the ugly ass nigga, and his brain gets bigger, and then he can travel
Right.
to any dimension that he wants, all of that jazz. And I think
Right.
because I forgot this, but Alan, the agency that he works for, the leader of that actually used to be an old Viltrumite, and
Well,
he
he still is.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
he is a Viltrumite. He just defected from the Viltrumite race because of what
Right.
they were doing. I think that's where that story might come in, and then I think we might get like a conquest at the end of the second 4 episodes. At least that's what I would hope. Because
Yeah.
conquest, that fight with him and Mark, which I think is not too far off from where we're at in the comics in terms
So
of
are they gonna end this season with that situation that happens to Mark?
with the lady. No, I don't think so. Because
Probably.
didn't
Oh,
Conquest
that
come?
would be messed
Didn't
up.
Conquest come before that?
That would have to be like episode 2,
Yeah.
right?
Conquest came before that. When
Conquest came before that, if I'm not mistaken, and then she pulled up with another
And then
Viltrumite that I can't
yeah,
remember,
you're
if I'm
right.
not
That was
mistaken.
after. Okay, you're right. You're right.
Conquest was the only one that pulled up, if I'm not mistaken, right? And he was just,
Yep.
I gotta look that up. Actually, I don't know.
I know. I think you're right though. I think you're right. It was due because that's how it throughout all Invincible, that's how it would kind of happen.
Mm-hmm.
Is there be a small threat, and then the small threat will be an example of like how things are about to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what happened there is that it was the one dude came by himself, right?
I thought so because
I think so. I think y'all right in that. I really do believe y'all right in that. He came along, they got whooped, but they ended up beating him.
mhm,
Then that's
barely.
when,
Because
yeah,
I,
because I mean, there are a couple fight scenes. Because I mean, doesn't yeah, because that's after the fact he goes and gets Omni Man, then they fight Viltrumites too.
yeah, because Omni Man
yeah.
helped him beat Conquest, right? If I'm not
No,
I
mistaken, that's when he
believe
came back, or no, that was right
no,
before he came back.
the first time wasn't it Adam, Eve, and Mark that was just fighting Conquest? 'Cause I think they went to that. I think the other Viltrumites went to that planet where Oliver was, and they started going crazy.
Got you. Okay,
And that's
yes,
where Omni Man. That's where
yes,
Mark and Omni Man was fighting other Viltrumites at.
okay,
It wasn't on Earth at that time yet.
got you.
right. Yeah.
Whichever man, this season is about to
No,
be
yeah, it's gonna
crazy.
be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. And it's only 30 minutes. Is it 30-minute episode?
Nah, I think it's gonna be more.
It gotta be an hour.
It gotta be
Cause
more.
it can't be it
Four
yo, if they do
episodes,
30
four
minutes, I'm
30-minute
just sitting there
episodes,
like,
niggas will be
yo,
pissed.
it need to be an hour. It needs
Yeah,
they need to do a true hour
do
episode. If
like
it's
the
only
Adam Eve
8
special
episodes,
that they just did. That Adam Eve special literally caught me off guard
how many
too.
how long was that? I didn't
That
watch
was
that.
one episode. I want to say it was around an hour's time. It went into her whole backstory of how she grew up and everything like that. That was actually like top tier. A lot of action, a lot of dialogue, a lot more. Where I think it was it this. I think it's this season where I think he makes that switch over to Adam Eve from his black girlfriend instead.
Yeah,
Because
it's gonna be this season.
I think his black girlfriend going to treat him shiesty because he's saving the world and
Mhm.
shit and not giving the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he go through that whole thing right when they start getting serious, which
Mm-hmm.
is that's why I'm thinking is it gonna be where they show them get close, then they have
They're falling
this
off.
whole and then now it's okay, so in one season he basically fell in love with her and then things got weird and he did his thing.
At this
Is it
point,
gonna be in one
I'm
Might
ready
season?
not,
I
might
fast.
don't
not
know though.
fall in
That's
love
a
with her this first
lot.
season though.
What is that?
You might not fall in love with her this next season. There's gonna be a lot
That's
going on.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's a lot going on, and I do see where that might just like you said, they can't do if they doing 8 episodes, fam. They can't. A lot of stuff gonna have to be switched around
8 hours
told
though.
in a
If
different
it's
way.
an hour each, 8 hours, you can do a lot with an hour episode. I ain't
You
gonna.
could do a lot with the 8 hours, but you still that's
That's
I
a lot of
mean, it just
info.
depends where they. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it just depends where they stop off at because the Angstrom Levi dude, I'm that's why I was trying to remember when they had started because it's been a while since I read it.
Mm-hmm.
But when we went through the whole Angstrom Levi, I don't remember that being short, bro. And like I know he pops back up
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
throughout the series, but
Yeah.
I just don't remember that
That
being short
that
at
nigga Mark
all.
was sent to a different dimension for a minute. He was there for a minute, wasn't he? But then
Yeah,
he
bro. It
came
was
back, and it was like he wasn't gone for that long. But in actuality, he was gone for a minute.
for a minute, but like even in what they show, it was like, yo, like this was I just remember that part being long. So when I saw the trailer and I saw him, not mind you, I didn't even see Megamind him. I saw the old school him. I'm like, oh, I'm like, yo, what the I'm like, what am I watching this season? Like, he not even in his brainiac form yet. Like, what is this?
It's wild.
Yeah, so I just think it's I don't know. It might be a lot. It might be a lot of it might I don't know how much they going to cover. I don't know how much they going to condense. The first episode will definitely we'll learn a lot more once we get to that point. We just not there yet.
That joint got to be like an hour and a half, bro. You
It
can't just
gotta
do
be.
episode one. Episode one should be like a movie or some shit, bro.
Yeah,
It should
a
be.
mini movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
give us a lot of information, get us locked in and everything like that. Then you can shorten
Anime
it a
does
little
that from
bit.
time to time.
Yeah,
It's not like that's unheard of. Anime's done that from time to time. I hope that they do. I hope that they do because, dude, you need a lot. You need
Because
a
you got to
lot of
recap that
context.
last episode. You got Immortal, who was cut in half. You got, where did he go? Chicago or something? and they messed up that train station. That was Chicago or something, or whatever city it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they got to
Yeah.
rebuild that. You got like all the heroes gonna be like, okay, what if Invincible turned on us? Because
Yeah.
it was nothing nobody could do. They literally only had Invincible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Stop him.
And this arc is gonna be that
Mm.
that old guy that had a shield ass nigga. I can't remember his
Cecil.
name right now.
It's Cecil. Yeah.
Cecil, yeah, it's gonna be him trying to
Yeah.
gain his confidence back. Because I remember after that moment, they didn't want to trust Invincible because of Omni Man, because of Butcher Mites and
Right.
all of that jazz. So he has to get back in their good graces and everything like that. But what
Which
getting
was a
off the
lot.
yeah, which is a
That
lot.
was a huge part, long, like not necessarily important wise, but like it was. I just remember all of that being long.
Mm-hmm,
Like I do not remember any of this part being short whatsoever.
mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like, I don't know how they about to digest this all and condense it down because it's just like it's not that like put it like this. There's other arcs that I could see being easier to condense,
Yeah,
whereas with this one,
it's
it's like
complicated. It's a
I
lot
just
going
feel like
on
it was a lot going on. It just was a lot happening.
with a lot of different
That's where
people.
I'm like, right. That's where I'm like, because like, isn't also during this part where you have the whole thing with maybe it wasn't, but you had the whole thing with robot where he like getting a team together and whatnot. Like he's trying to like actually like make a team work,
Oh yeah.
and he's
I,
going back and forth
I thought
with
he already did that in the last season when he actually got the body and everything.
he did, but don't it like
Goes
be
more into
further than
depth
what they show? Yeah,
about
that's what I mean.
with
Like,
Monster Girl and everything like that. I think behind
right.
the scenes, which is something they can, I think they could possibly do it behind the scenes where they have like those throwaway takes where like at the end of the episode you think the credits about the show and then they show like an
Yeah.
extra 2 to 5 minutes of content. Like the first episode when they show Omni Man pull up to the Justice League Society, whatever it is, Justice Society crib, killed them niggas. That was supposed to be where the credits was. I thought the show was over at that point in time. I was like, I bet. I wasn't even paying attention to the show until those last
Yeah.
5 minutes. And then I seen the
Right.
last 5 minutes. I was like, what the
I'm
fuck?
like,
All right.
huh? Yeah.
I was like,
No, that's
maybe I'll be
bad.
slacking. Maybe I'll be slacking. But I want to ask
They
y'all.
probably will do something like that again. I could see that where
I
they
hope
do
so.
like, oh, here's this whole situation with Monster Girl and Robot. Boom, right
Yeah.
here. But I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to. Like, we just gonna have to see because let me see if they say anything
And you know
about.
what's crazy? Not even like the reading beforehand when it came out. Like the first episode up until the last 5 minutes, it was like a Static Shock Young Justice type of show.
Yeah.
You know. And
Yeah.
then like after that, it was like, oh, this show is for real. But you don't really see, like I was saying before, you don't really see how mature it is until the last episode. Like
Mm-hmm.
all the death. And I think like from Omni Man's perspective, it's like, dang, like you really forget about everything he just did and you just worry about the next season. It's like that's how he think about it. Like, okay, you know, 30,000 people just died, whatever. I'm gonna go to Mars or some shit.
Yeah.
That shit is
Repopulate with another alien
Yeah.
species.
exactly like that shit is
Listen,
nuts.
and that's what like. That's because hold on. Do we meet Oliver this season?
I think so. I think by the end, like the last four episodes, I think at
Or
some
do
point he
his
either meets Oliver or he
mother?
goes to see Omni Man, talks to him, and then he takes Oliver with him from there.
But it for sure it would stop before the mother saw Oliver.
I think so because if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Oliver came back way before Omni Man came back.
What do you mean?
Mark went and got Oliver, if I'm not mistaken, once he found Omni
Yeah,
Man, and then
yeah.
he brought him back to help his mom with the depression because I think he said that he thought that it would help her out, and it did ended up helping her out.
So and that's what I'm saying is does that happen this season?
I think so because I don't
Because
think his mom was depressed for OD long before he went
how
and got
much is they
Oliver.
about to
Yeah, like
cover?
hey, John,
Every episode gotta be an
Damn.
hour, bro. It's no
it
How
way.
much are they about to cover?
gotta be, but
Because now her whole thing with depression you got to explain,
yeah,
which you have to explain too because um I know that they touched on it in the previous season, but people help her. Like the old dude, he end up helping
Oh
her a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit as
yeah.
time goes on. But then the dude, but not I'm talking about the old director dude.
Cecil.
Yeah, like Cecil as time goes on ends up being. I feel like I remember him being more vocal with like their relationship kind of develops.
Mm-hmm.
But the dude who designed the costumes, I felt like did they finish that? Is that done? Was that all just in the first season? Is there no more with that?
I,
Oh, that dude.
I think he
Yeah.
might. Yeah, his tailor. I think there might be more. I just don't
So if
necessarily
they gonna
know.
talk about that,
Yeah.
they gonna transition Mark's love life with um Adam Eve.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna cover Angstrom Levi and him sending Mark away.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna cover Mark being sent away.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna cover the invasion of the Viltrumites. No, maybe not.
Yeah,
Maybe
probably
not
not.
that part.
Yeah.
Not that part. But
Or,
they're gonna
or at
cover
least lead into it.
Mark meeting Oliver.
Yeah. I feel like that. I,
They
I, I
gonna cover
yeah.
okay,
I'd agree with that. I'd agree
and
with
then
the
it's top
Angstrom
from
Levy
there.
and then the Oliver thing. He probably gonna meet Omni Man and then come back, and then they're gonna lay down the seedlings for the Viltrumites coming in. They're gonna show Thrag at
Yeah,
least and Conquest and them talking. I want to see Thrag so badly. I want to see
I
who
know I
voices
do
him
too.
too. But the thing that has me confident the most in the series, where whichever way they decide, is the comic creator is actually like really hands on in the animation process. If he wasn't there, then I'd be like, all right, I expect loopholes. I expect
Kirkman, is it
something.
Robert Kirkman that did it?
Yeah,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, it's Kirkman his last name. I can't remember his first name. He could be Robert.
Yeah, I think that's Robert Kirkman and that did it.
But yeah, he's a part of the animation. He's like a very big reason, obviously,
Yeah.
because he created the comics. But that's the reason why I'm confident that they'll figure out a way, regardless of how they want to slice it. He'll figure out a way to push all of the content that he needs to in this season, drop the seedlings for the next season, and get everybody hyped up for that joint too, while also bringing
Yeah.
some heat during this one. But in order to end this one out for today, I'm gonna ask y'all, since we talked about Invincible with the Jujutsu Kaisen, what scenes are y'all most forward to looking to being able to view, whether it be from Invincible or Jujutsu Kaisen? It could be from this season. Let's stick with this season for now. If y'all got something for seasons in the future, or just a scene that y'all want to see in the comics that y'all really interested in, let me know. But what's something that really speaks out to y'all where y'all like, I really want to see this animated one day for both of those series?
Okay. Derek, you got it.
No, you go first.
Go
If
first.
y'all need time, I could go first too.
Um.
All
Yeah, you go first.
right, so Invincible, I had in mind because of their emotional tie-in with Omni Man and the dichotomy between Omni Man and Mark, and how Mark is humanized and Omni Man is more Viltrumite, but he's been touched by humans per se, where he's now gaining a consciousness and everything like that. I want to see Omni Man's ascendance back to the superhero we all thought that he was, the world thought that he was. I want to see that moment where he ends up joining Mark's side again, and like all of that shit that went down that was so traumatic, that traumatized us in that first season, it technically was worth it. Because at the end of the day, Mark was able to turn his father back into the good side, into the good man that he always thought he was, type of thing. I'm interested in seeing that. And then JJK wise, I'm gonna just stick with this arc, because the arc after
Yeah, you can't really. I
is a
know.
fucking doozy. But
Yeah, it's tough. I ain't commenting on that. I'm not even trying to bring that up.
with this arc, it's a toss up between, I want to see Sukuna unleashed. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, I want to see Yuji actually get a W. And this is probably the only W this nigga gets throughout the whole series. He be getting smacked up, packed up, goddamn, getting body swapped and all sorts of shit. Niggas just getting used and abused all series, and he just got this one W. Even though, spoiler alert, he can't get his W's by himself. He always needs somebody to help him out. He always needs somebody to help him jump a nigga. But regardless, he still got the W. So it's either that or the Sukuna versus Gojo, and Sukuna just laying waste to Shibuya in general. That's what I'm interested in to see. No cap for both of them.
I think I'm gonna go with for Invincible, because I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I still want to see another scene with Battle Beast. I don't know if it might be with this season or when they gonna bring it in, but that's probably one of my favorite characters in the whole series. And for Jujutsu Kaisen, there's only one specific scene I want to see how they animate it. It's Jogo's Comet. And when when Panda and everybody's there, just stand there like about to run, and Sukuna comes down and says, "Nobody move until I say move." It's like, my nigga, like you had the time to come down here and tell everybody to freeze just so you just to toy with niggas. It's like, I just want to see how they animate that. Like, how they gonna have him just swoop in and just stand behind a nigga and be like, "Don't move,"
That
and
nigga's
then
really
everybody like,
ass.
"Oh shit!"
We
Like,
can't move.
like, what you mean
Backed
we
up by
can't
the
move?
meteorite, or we get cut down by this nigga Scooter. Which way you want?
Right. No, those are good ones. I like that.
I forgot that happened. I ain't gonna lie.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. Is like, yo, like I like dog. Too much happens in this arc. Like
That's
that's
ass,
crazy.
bro. That's just
Nigga said,
I
"Don't
guess.
nobody."
We getting ready to see it soon.
yeah.
But I want to see. I would like to see Nanami's fight during Shibuya. I would like to see. I like. I think. I think it's gonna be like the Mechamaru for me a little bit, where it's like I didn't really like feel how important this fight is to the whole of everything. And just like, even if it's just feel, the whole feel of everything. I think that, like, I just don't know. I think that fight gonna be something different. I'm curious to see that. But I will say, like, before seeing anything this season, and before having that one, I would say it was definitely, I'm agreeing with the idea of Sukuna being unleashed. I just want to see what that moment feels like after being fed all of the fingers. I would like to see what that is going to actually look like in the animation when we actually see Sukuna in this arc.
We only
Yo,
seen him like terrify people like individually for the most part. We've mostly
yeah,
seen him terrorize Yuji. That's OD. He terrorized Megami for a little bit until Megami passed the fuck out, and then Sukuna and Yuji, aka, died until Sukuna came back or brought him back.
right.
But this time we're gonna actually see Sukuna terrorizing everybody.
Everybody. So
Like, nigga, Derek said that shit. I'm like, nigga, he really said that? He came down, was like, none of y'all niggas move until I say so.
yeah,
It's a meteorite, Sukuna. I don't give a damn, nigga. I ain't asking you that. Don't move.
Bro,
I ain't say I didn't
like you
care.
said, Niall, it's all about feel. Like, I think Nanami grew on me as a character. Cause I mean, reading the manga, it's like, okay, he's the business professional. He was a jujitsu sorcerer, this and this. But when you hear like the cadence of the speech and you see like you know what he's gonna say, but you know how he's gonna say
How you
it.
gonna say it? Yeah.
And it's like that Mahito fight gonna be crazy because it's like you see Nanami half dead, and then he know his time up, and it's like, damn, like he didn't get the life he wanted, but he knew he had a mission. And it's like his last words is, "Yuji, you got it from here." It's like, yo, like
Damn.
how they gonna say that shit? It's like, I already know they're gonna
It's
do
gonna
some
hit different.
crazy
Yeah.
shit.
And mind you, like, I'm telling you, in the manga, they don't do justice with how angry he was when that one curse was killing all of them people.
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize he got that mad.
Which
He,
curse?
the one that we had in the most recent episode.
Oh, are you talking about the sorcerer?
Yeah,
The sorcerer with the sword with
yes,
the hand?
the one with the sword with the hand on it. Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
not the most
Nanami.
recent episode, the
Yeah.
one before that. I did not realize
How
how
angry.
angry Nanami got
Yeah.
at that man's.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where I'm like, do I need to go back and read? Because like he was really that mad. He
Picked his
was
ass
that
up by his
angry.
hair and punched the shit out that
He
nigga.
said he walked him down.
Where are the
I
other
was like,
sorcerers at, nigga?
yo.
I was like, oh, out of
So
it.
like just knowing you about to have that fight, and then yo, like it's just like you said, and then just when Sukuna do come, you knowing this is like where you finally get to see him flex his jaw, like he really get to flex his muscles a little bit in the Shibuya arc. He shows how dangerous he is.
Does he clap all those niggas before he fights Jogo? Before he fights the fire dude?
I don't know.
I
That's what I
remember.
was trying to remember. I
I
was trying to
remember he
remember
did
that.
the
Was that
big
before or
slap.
after?
Jojo? Does he fight Jogo?
I
Yeah,
thought.
like before
Yeah.
that. Is it before that where he clap all them
The
people?
comment is where he fights. Yeah, we claps all them people. But I was gonna say, remember that episode of Demon Slayer when like this last season where Muzan finally realizes there's a demon that conquered the daylight, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you can see like in the
Nezuko.
anime, I mean in the manga, they like draw it, but you can see in the anime like he's like pulsing like, oh shit, like
You can't
and
get
you
it
can
the
see
same
that.
when you read it.
And remember they like Muzan, what's wrong? What's wrong? He like kills both ladies, like decapitates them, whatever. That scene where those two girls that follow Geto around and they're like, we'll give you another finger if you do this for us. And he's like, who the fuck are you bossing around? And mind you, this is after he already said, is there a request of me that you have or something? So he already
Yeah.
said, what do you need me to do since you bowed? And they said, well, we need you to kill this and this person, and then we'll give you a finger. So he got offended, like, you gonna do this for me only if I do that. And then he just start killing people. I'm like, yo, this is gonna be insane, bro. This shit gonna be crazy.
I forgot he did that too.
Yeah,
As soon as they fed
he
him
did.
the finger,
Yes.
he said,
Yes.
"You got one wish,
Yes.
I got you." He was like, "You got the audacity
All
to
of
really
that.
ask for a wish?" Clap.
All of that is about to just happen. Like it's all on top of each other too. It's
Bro,
like
in
right after the
one
next.
episode. That's gonna have to be one episode
Oh, yeah.
because
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
they get out of the domain, and Toji takes Megami out, that's when Jogo comes and Nanami, Maki, and the older Zenin dude, he burns them. And then that's when he, like, as soon as he gets the older dude, he senses a finger and he knows it's Sukuna. Then he rushes over there, and then that's when he feeds Sukuna the 10 fingers. So that shit's gonna be nuts. That's
Yeah.
damn the next episode.
Yeah.
I think it starts next episode, and that's
Does
crazy.
Megami bring out not Mekamaru, Maharaga before? Because I know he brought him out for Toji because Toji started packing his ass up.
No, he brought him out. The dude with after Toji killed himself.
Oh, okay.
After Toji kills himself, and then his face turns back into the dude that was just using people's bodies.
Yeah.
That's when he gets slashed across the back from the dude Nanami was fighting. Then he has to pull out Magaraga because it was like he was already in the main expansion. So he's like, I only got one fucking shadow puppet to use, and it's gonna be this one.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And that's when you get right, and then Maharaga faces, yeah.
Maharaga faces Sukuna after that.
Correct. Yeah. But hold on, what was it that led to Yuji? It just was circumstance. That was it.
What?
That was it. It was just Yuji being there, wrong place, wrong time. With Maharaga having to come out.
Nah, I think
what caused it?
Magaraga comes out because the dude that's with the hand sword slashes Megami in the back, but Megami is already too weak from fighting with Toji a little bit, but also with using his domain
his domain expansion against this fish dude. Yeah.
So it's like he's using all that energy, and then that's when Sukuna comes, but it's I don't know, this shit the next 2 episodes about to be stupid. Next 3 for real.
Nigga, the last half of this season is about to be bananas.
This shit is about to be nuts,
That's
bro.
crazy.
It's about to be back-to-back.
Yeah, like you literally gonna be seeing one episode, and it's gonna be like so much happening, and then you gonna be like, "What?" And they gonna end it like that, and then you gonna watch the next episode, mad
Yeah.
excited, and then it's gonna have the same amount of action, and just stuff happening, and then that's gonna end, and you gonna be like, "What?" And then they gonna probably pick up on something, and you gonna be like, "All
Nah,
right, I guess."
I'm gonna switch my joint too for JJK. I want to see the expression, the specific panel of when Sukuna gives Yuji back his body and gives him back control, and he just sees Shibuya like that big ass crater that's in Shibuya, and Yuji just starts like crying and shit like that. And that's like right before he goes to find Nanami in the position that he's in. Boy, his fucking emotional, like his face, I know his reactions is gonna be like top tier. But we like, fuck you, G. You going through it, my boy. You like Peter Parker.
Yeah. Dude, because it's gonna be 1-2. It's gonna be like boom and then boom. And he
It's just
just
a domino effect
what?
after that. Just keep going. Just keep going. Sukuna done took over. He done packed up some niggas. Fucking Nanami, one of your senseis is getting packed up. Your real sensei Gojo just got packed up and sent to the gulag. That nigga still can't come back yet. He got to kill a couple
But
niggas.
timeout. We still gotta have the whole. Oh man, dog. That's a because right now he's out. Oh, dog. Shibuya was so messed up.
Yeah.
Like I keep forgetting how messed up Shibuya was, but Shibuya was mad. The villains was low key foul.
Mm-hmm.
Like they was low key
They ain't give a two
foul
flying
with
boots.
it because you gotta think about it. Yuji just got done fighting Choso before then having to go into that whole setup with Mahito after what happened with Nanami and this situation with does what's her name happen before?
What,
Oh
Maki?
man, I ain't said her name in a minute. Nah.
Really?
I ain't said her
Nobara?
name in a
Nobara?
minute. That's why. Nobara, yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
Is
It happens in this
it
arc.
happened? Was it before? I know it does, but does it happen before Nanami, or did it happen when they
I thought it was at
both
the
went
same
after?
time.
After
I thought it happened at
it
the
was at
same
the
time
same
because
time.
he had
Yes.
twins, or not twins, but model decoys, I guess you would say. Mahito made other decoys, and they didn't
Yeah.
know which one was the real one.
He literally has to go from fighting Chozo to
Getting
that.
taken over.
No,
Getting
To
taken over.
getting taken
Chozo
to getting taken over.
and destroying Shibuya to then watching his
Wrecking
mentor die.
everything. To then watching his mentor die, to then watching his teammate, like his partner, in that same moment die. At least that's what it looked like. At least we still don't really. I don't know, but that whole thing happened.
It's just bananas.
Gojo is locked in a box.
Yeah, can't get him out. Niggas ain't even help his ass.
But bro, when you think about it, it's like
Maki is fucked up.
Yeah,
because then
How did she get messed up again?
she got burnt.
From Jugo, right?
Joke. Yeah.
when they come out
Yeah.
the joint, he burned
Because he
3 of
burnt
them.
her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, you got to realize that after Nanami, the strongest person is Yuji.
Mm-hmm.
Because I ain't about to count that panda. You got Yuji and Megami, and they like already fought. And it's like, bro, in order to get like everybody's like, fuck, we got Yuji, a panda, and like 3 niggas with suits on.
Yuji a panda.
Yeah.
This
Like, it was bad at one point. It was
Bruh.
bad. It like
I went
is
back to the
really
castle. or
that's
whatever they
that's
had
what
planned.
that's what I was trying to figure out though. How did they get out of Shibuya, yo? Like, what was the turn?
by
I'm
the
trying to
skin of their
remember.
teeth. I
Like,
think
what was the?
it was Kenjaku. I think he was just ready to go after fucking
Yeah,
Yuji
he
packed
just
up
that was
Mahito.
it.
He absorbed the nigga Mahito in the little ball thing and then ate his ass and then got on. I was like,
That was it.
you started all this bullshit. You brought the gulag here to
For
pack this
no
nigga Gojo up
reason.
and
Just for Gojo.
brought
That's it.
shenanigans to everybody. I think is this
Well, we already know
when?
why though.
Yeah, we know why, but
The
it's
series
just
would have ended if they kept going at that moment.
yeah. It would have had to
Like
hit.
that was how bad Shibuya was. If they kept going any further,
He had to
they
do
just would have
something.
had to be the end of the series
Had to do
because it was just everybody was getting murked. Like it's just it's
atrocious.
But all four
so
of
you
those
telling me
special grades
Kenjaku
did
just
die, though.
ended it.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah. Because Yuta stooped the one time he need to be there.
He's not there. You nigga pulls up
He is
late as
just
hell.
that was the worst missed moment of a character in anything I have ever seen. Yuta is supposed to be
Well,
like
he on
the
some Captain
second
Marvel shit.
coming. Yeah,
Nigga ain't
he's
never there
supposed to
when you
be
need him.
like the
Nigga off
man,
doing
and
some,
he
doing some
just
bullshit.
gone. Like
That nigga over there in
everybody
Zimbabwe.
gone.
Nigga was in Africa, wasn't he? Doing what though?
Like for
They
what?
never
He
even
Dave
went to reach him.
Chappelle. He literally was like, "I'm pulling a Chappelle. I don't need y'all not paying me enough for this. I'm
Nigga
going to
over there
Africa.
chilling.
This is crazy."
Like, what are you
Yeah, because
learning over there about Jujutsu
No, but
Sorcery?
he does come back though.
Yeah, he does come back in the Shibuya arc, and he acts like he has to kill fucking Yuji, if I'm not mistaken. But then
No, it was the Sukuna fight. They were like, if you get in Gojo's way, you just gonna end up killing yourself because you're just gonna hold him back.
Mm-hmm. That is true. That is true.
yeah, he comes back in that. He comes back before that. After he comes back though officially after technically. I'm going to say technically after all of the shenanigans.
After
Like
the
he
Shibuya
comes
arc,
back after
the end.
Kenjaku is like, all
Go.
right, I'm gonna let y'all sleep.
Peace.
Because
I
I
did what I
didn't
had
even
to do.
realize that if all it was Kenjaku being like, all right, I'm gonna let y'all off for the day. That's what ended Shibuya. Like,
Oh yeah, because he has to stay there because the prison realm can't move right now because Gojo is technically fighting back. There's so much information for the prison realm to be able to acquiesce to that the prison realm has to stay there. So he had to stay there for a specific amount of time. I'm guessing during that time, Sukuna went on a rampage. Maharaga was released. Toji ended up clapping himself. Fucking the Gojo fight happened. Mahito ends up getting packed up too.
boy,
I'm gonna be pissed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be pissed once Tojo? What is it?
Toji,
Toto. Once Toto
clapped.
loses his fucking hand. I'm
Oh, I
gonna
don't
be
want to watch that. I don't
fucking
want to
pissed.
watch that.
I'm
I
gonna
don't want to
be
watch that.
perturbed once I see
I
that shit,
forgot
boy.
that. I
I
forgot
forgot
that.
about that. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. His technique cool, but it's stupid though.
It's so stupid,
nigga
but
gotta
it's so
clap.
cool.
It is. That's how they caught his
Like
ass
that.
slacking.
Oh, and I
Nigga
could
thought he
clap
was
other
clapping with the
people.
What
nub.
do you call that shit? Boogie woogie.
Boogie woogie.
Boogie woogie. He got the nub clap coming. That's crazy. Yo, that's why
How you,
KK
how
is
you Uno reverse card
is
the
a
fuck out of
mad
a villain with
dude.
the nub clap? The nigga
The
said,
nub clap,
you still think I'm
bro.
clapping? You still thought that my shit was working, nigga?
Yo.
The Yuji come in, Black Flash, boom,
Is
clap.
he about to have a fake arm too? Like, what is it? What's about to be the
Nah, I
deal with
think
him?
Toto was done after that. We haven't seen Toto since then, have we?
Is he done? Yeah, no, we haven't seen him since then. Is he done? Is he
can't
just
Yo,
produce.
I don't got two hands anymore, so
He can't do his
what
technique no more.
what
He
happened
can't do
to
his technique.
them other upperclassmen? Why wasn't they there at the beginning?
Oh, Hikari and all of them?
Yeah.
I think they was busy doing shit just like you
Hikari
two.
ain't messing with them. Yuta just ain't shit. I don't
His
like
side
Yuta the
shit.
most ain't shit, greatest character ever.
His
He
side
is like
shit. That nigga ain't never
he
there. But
he don't care, bro. He just I don't think he gonna fight Sukuna. I'm serious. I don't think he gonna fight Sukuna.
I think his
It's
is
tripping me
Kenjaku.
out.
I think his is Kenjaku.
I do
Cause
too. I think that's his person.
it's perfect.
And that's wild. Could you imagine after everything that just happened with Sukuna in the manga,
Mm-hmm.
for Yuta to just be like, yeah, no, that's all y'all again.
Mm-hmm.
Shibuya Part 2. He gonna really hit them with a Shibuya Part 2.
That nigga
And
got
that's
this.
about to be crazy. Like, that's about to be nuts. Yuji ain't gonna have no foot. If Toto gonna have to come back with his little one arm, he gonna have to come back. At this point, I'm sorry, but the enemy, this the one series where I really do feel like the enemy just gonna win. because it just looked like
It feels like
it just
it doesn't.
feels and looks like the enemy should win. Like,
Unless this nigga usually comes with some unearthly fucking technique, which I think he will. Because he said he ate mad shit. He didn't care what he ate as long as it gave him
dude,
the
well,
power to
here,
fuck the
you know
nigga.
what the other part is? I just thought about this when you told me that, Rob, and it's been sitting on my mind since then. The Maki clan the Zenin clan is in Maki's control right now, technically, right?
I wouldn't say that is still
You
technically
can't say
Megami.
Megami ain't nowhere.
His body is still out there though.
He there, but he not. Here's my thing.
Because
Sukuna wouldn't be
mm-hmm,
doing anything to help himself
mm-hmm.
because he's Sukuna, right?
Is there anybody left of the Zenin clan though? Either
Maki.
outside of
Maki.
Maki? That's it though.
What about his
That's
brother?
it.
Oh, I'm tripping. I'm thinking about the nigga with the blood control, the other dude that he fought season 1.
Oh,
That's
no.
just from
That's another family. That's another
yeah.
family.
He used their family's line, I think, or lineage, just like how Kenjaku went into Itadori's mom and created him. I think
Yeah.
that's how he created the other cursed death paintings, and then he just did it from their bloodline. So they actually which the anime actually helped
Yeah.
me realize a lot easier, a lot simpler in the most recent episode with they fight.
Episode, how that whole thing worked,
Mhm.
right?
Where the
Yeah.
bloodline was passed down to them, and that's why all of the brothers, the cursed death painting wombs or whatever you want to call them, they all had blood related curse techniques.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
But
man, it's just Maki
The Zenin clan is just Maki and
Megami. Once he gets his
Megami.
body back, if he gets his body back,
Toji dead, been dead.
told you that the old nigga got clapped up by Maki.
Old nigga got clapped. Everybody got
All,
clapped
all
up
his
by her.
subordinates got clapped up, Maki. Oh, she the GOAT, man. I think she
No,
might be my
but
favorite
you know the
one.
reason why I brought that up?
Hmm.
Who has all of the tools? All of them? Gojo was left from his clan.
Mm-hmm.
Maki is the only one at the point when they all met up, Rob. At the point when they all met up,
Mm-hmm.
without saying too many spoilers and all of that, when they all met back up, we about to have this big battle that just happened.
Mm-hmm.
The one that just happened. When they all met up, right? All of the family heads is there from the 3 big families,
Oh, really?
right?
I thought the higher ups though got clapped up, so I figured that the higher ups included their
The
clan
only
members.
one that didn't is the blood dude that like the blood clan that Derek talking about. The guy that was in charge of that one,
Mm-hmm.
he got fooled by, Kenjaku, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
He right before Maki and the rest of them. Okay, so rewind back up for a second. Remember when Maki did what she did with the Zenin family?
Mm-hmm.
And remember the one cousin that came back as a cursed spirit?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the other clan
Oh,
leader that was with, remember, and he got fooled by Kenjaku?
I think I think I know what you're talking about.
First of all, what happened to him? Where is he at? Is he there?
I thought he got clapped up, didn't he? You talking about
He
the
not dead.
one
He
that turned
not
into a cursed
dead.
spirit?
No,
Or
that
about
was
the other
part of
dude?
Zenin, though. This is the blood family. The blood family.
Yeah, I keep getting their name.
I can't remember.
He
I
was
forgot their name too.
he was Maki's sister's classmate. The blood, that dude. So remember, the blood isn't the
I
Zenin.
think I know who you're talking about. They was on the fight when they first fought the branch nigga. And
Yeah.
he pulled up and he was there fighting Megami, if I'm not mistaken, first. Isn't he there? Yeah, I think he's still alive. He was fighting
Yes.
Megami in the
Yes.
crib, and then the branch nigga came out of nowhere and sent all the branches towards him, Megami, and then the other dude
So
that
that dude though, he's still alive, right?
I think so.
The last time we saw him, he was fighting the Zenin cursed object. That dude, the Zenin dude who turned into the cursed
Yeah.
spirit.
Or he could have been
right?
clapped in the process, and Maki was the one that dealt the final blow to his ass.
Did he? Yeah, he might have died in that. I don't know. But if that guy didn't die,
Yeah.
then all three of the clans were together. The heads of the, even if they were technical,
Mm-hmm.
because we know Gojo. Gojo currently is the only one left from his clan. The Blood Dude is the only one left after the Kenjaku whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
We know that from when they went and showed that.
Mm-hmm.
When they went back and showed that when he was talking to Maki. And Maki, we know, cleaned up that whole situation. So outside of her brother or her cousin and her cousin's brother, her cousins, outside her two cousins, because you can't forget Megumi's sister is still Zenin, I believe. No, she isn't. She's not even Zenin. She's not even Zenin. It's only Megumi and Maki. That's it.
And spoiler alert, her ass about to die soon too. So
No, but
Yeah, they do Mega
the
Me.
reason why I brought that up is because you reminded me that they said that Yuji ate all of these cursed objects, and I was sitting there like, where did these cursed objects
I
come
think
from?
I think what he initially ate, because remember there was a whole lot more cursed death painting wounds
Yeah,
that Choso had in his memories, which I don't think
yeah,
was an actual false thing. I know the memories of him and Yuji were false and were created
yeah.
by Yuji's innate technique, whatever that might be. But I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure that there was more cursed death painting wounds. So like the same ones that I want to say Yuji and Nobara killed, the two of Choso's brothers. I think there was more
Yeah,
brothers that he had, and I think he ended up eating those in order to get him blood in a blood technique. So I know he's gonna have Sukuna's curse technique. He probably won't have it right now, but the more and more using his other curse techniques and everything that he ate, I'm pretty sure he'll get more of an understanding to how to use Sukuna's curse technique. And then that will be
Yeah.
the final straw.
but what if it was something? So we know that, and that's the point that I'm almost trying to make is we know that by default Yuji gets Sukuna because of their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
He also gets blood curse or the cursed wombs by extension of who he knows and possibly resources.
Mm-hmm.
That I would imagine that might even be at the school, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like that wouldn't shock me if what you're describing they have more of was at the schools. Well, when I think about that, that's one family down. But the other two, which we have full access to,
Mm-hmm. Why not eat? Why not eat parts of them and try and get their shit too?
Yeah. Right.
he got the access.
Nigga just start munching
You
on
you
Gojo's
you
body.
made me think about this. You the
Like,
one who made me think about this. He got the access because we know the people in charge. He was around. Maki could do whatever she want, regardless of whether she give it to her cousin or not. She
Mhm.
could do whatever she want.
mm-hmm.
She had access to all of that stuff she want to.
Mm-hmm.
And even if she could, I just feel like that she could.
Any cursed objects, tools, especially the cursed objects and tools. I don't think that she even cares about the other ones that she
She
has
don't
in her
care
possession
about them. All
because she
she
got the
has is the
one
one that she
from
right.
her
She got the
sister.
one she need.
Yeah,
That's all she need.
Which one did she get
Which
again though?
is
and she got the
that's
one from
her
her sister
sister.
after her
The
sister
one her
sacrificed
sister
herself.
became. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because remember, her sister's power was what she could create objects. Like she could create like
She was creating like bullets in that gun.
cursed
Yeah.
objects, and it was the bullets in the gun was her main thing. But then at the end, she did the cursed object of the sword
Yeah.
or whatever it is for Maki,
Used her essence
um,
basically and transformed herself into a sword. I guess you could say.
which is now a level 1 cursed object. Like she nothing else matters in there
Yeah.
from the Zenin family to her at least. Nothing else in there matters. The only other person who would care about them is Megami, but he not there
Mm-hmm.
because of the circumstances. He's not there. So why not? Why wouldn't Yuji have possibly taken on one of? Now we talking about Sukuna's curse. We talking about the curse wombs curse energy,
Mm-hmm.
Sukuna's curse energy, and then that goes. If all of this does wrap around souls and why he's able to do it is souls, then if all it takes is him being exposed to a little bit of the soul, could he be exposed to a little bit of the Gojo's clan's soul? Satoru clan soul.
Could you technically say he's already been exposed to it since being in his domain expansion, per se? And not being
Could
technically affected by it, but seeing it from Gojo's viewpoint this whole entire time?
could that have been something when they met up? Could that have been, because remember, they're like, you made me remember this. Gojo and Yuji met and trained or whatever for
Mm-hmm.
some period of time before big fight.
Mm-hmm.
They
It was him and Akari, if I'm not mistaken. And at that point in time, how they set it up, it was like Akari was talking from Yuji's body and was like, "You need to get this fucking technique down pat before."
but we know that Gojo was around and able,
He could have,
right?
yeah, he could
So
have been
he could
training
have
with him too.
said, he could have, even if he didn't train with him, he could have said, go train with Hikari, go train with the other three,
Hop in my
right?
body for a good couple hours and everything, get ingratiated with my technique, and then go back into your body, keep training with them niggas.
Or if not that, it could be go train with them, but I want you to swallow or get used to this Satoru clan family,
Hey, hey, yo,
heirloom
hey,
tool.
yo,
Go
Pause.
train, but
hey,
yeah,
yo.
pause.
This
But
nigga said, I want you to get
I
used
mean,
to.
that's what he do. That's what he do. Is he
He
be?
said, I want you
That's
to.
Yuji's power. That's ultimately one of Yuji's powers.
He used to
It's
suck up my
wild power.
DNA. It's
He said,
crazy.
he
It's
said,
a
I need
it's
you
a
to go ahead
wild
and
power.
swallow this Zenin clan technique.
That's too much. Pause.
Yo, go
Oh
swallow this
man.
clan real quick and get all the power you need. Yeah, it's bugging.
And then what's the last family?
It's Zenin, there's Gojo,
Yeah, the
and then
Zenin. I don't know what could come from the Zenin clan, but whatever it could be, Maki would have known, right?
mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
So
if it's
Maki and
anything that he
Toji
could
have that.
utilize,
I was gonna say Maki and Toji have that heavenly curse.
restriction.
yeah, they got
Heavenly
that.
restriction. Okay.
Which that's another point. Like, could she have possibly given a tool, knowing that the Zenin clan is the ones that like get that heavenly restriction? I don't know any other clan that's gotten that heavenly
Even got that.
restriction.
Yeah,
Yuji
usually
before all
technically
of
has
this
it.
black fit, exactly, before all this black fist and
Mm-hmm.
all of this crazy stuff that he done achieved and scale lizard arms and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
before all of that, he remember what Megami said. It's almost like does he have a heavenly restriction like Maki?
Yeah,
Because of his strength. Remember, like when Megami first met
yeah,
Yuji, he was like, it's almost like he got a heavenly restriction like Maki.
yeah.
That was base Yuji. That was base Yuji.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? Like, does Maki say, oh, well, in the Zenin clan, we're known to get the heavenly restriction. You show signs of having a heavenly restriction. So here's this cursed object that helps users that have that heavenly restriction. We don't see any objects with Yuji currently, but who's to say he don't got them stored somewhere? Or who's to say there wasn't a
He
soul
ate
one?
them
Maybe there
hoes.
was a soul. Yeah, maybe there was a soul one that the Maki that the Zenin clan had too. Something that they found as a byproduct. Remember, they was real wicked.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no telling, like,
What they got behind
dude, and
closed
that's the
doors.
thing with everything with Jujutsu Kaisen is so much is left open that you never know where they gonna go back and touch on that.
That's why it's such a good series.
Like, Yuji's spoiler alert. I don't know whether you read this far or not yet, Derek, but Yuji's mom had one of the most OP powers. It's like anti-gravity or some shit like that. She just
I
got
read
some
about it.
OD. It's some OD power. And it's like, we learn about it through Kenjaku, but like, does that power exist in Yuji, or does he have some byproduct of that power? Is that power tied to his black fist? Like, does he have some anti-gravity black fist punch that he about to pull out? You never know, because with Jujutsu Kaisen, all of that stuff would just be left there, and then Gigi might go to it. Or Gege might go to it, or Gege would be like, "Nah, I ain't care about none of that. That was just there for that moment." And then he come to some brand new conclusion, and you like, I ain't even see that.
That's
I
how
don't
you're
know.
right. I never expected any of the shit to happen that happened to be honest with you.
None of it. Yeah. I think, yo, yeah. Nah, I don't know. I have no clue. I have no clue for any of it.
I feel like that's why a lot of people really just gravitate towards it. I'm not gonna lie. Denver Broncos clapped the Kansas City Chiefs. Jesus Christ. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
I
sorry
didn't
about
need
that.
to. I didn't need
I'm
to
sorry
say
about
that.
that. But I think we did a very good first episode. Wasn't able to get
It
the
was
anime thing set up for the live review, which I'm a little sad about. But I'll dig more into it, figure that out for y'all. But y'all got anything else y'all want to say or anything y'all want to plug? I know now you got Crocco's Corner, Derek. If you got your socials or anything like that, and now y'all could drop that as well.
No.
Yeah, just for us, just Crocco's Corner. I'm going to be trying to do for anybody watching this or did see this through the Discord. I'm going to be trying to move some of the stuff that I haven't been doing with Crocco's Corner onto the Discord, so that way we could just have more video too. So just be on the lookout for that. I'm still kind of figuring that out, but yeah, just be on the lookout for that. Mental maintenance, maybe some problems in history stuff we'll do too. I don't know, but yeah, guys, thank you for joining for this, and be on the lookout for that.
At Crocco's Corner on all social medias and on podcast is CROCOSCORNER, Crocco's Corner.
Yeah.
And then again, I got my good friend Derek as well. Came out here. This Discord thing, I'm really liking it. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm pretty sure that we're gonna be tapping into it a lot more. And then the more we tap into it, the better we'll become acclimated to it. So thank y'all again, and I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all night. Peace.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna turn off this record now.
Oh, Derek said.
But Derek was out of there.
He was like, "It is late."